Before we begin, allow your breath to soften and settle. Feel a calm warmth in your chest, as if a quiet inner flame brightens within. Welcome. I am C.S. Douglas, and this is Codex Eternum, the Rational Bible, a journey through the architecture of consciousness, destiny, and the forces that shape the path of our world.
This program is proudly sponsored by Authorpedia, the world's only encyclopedia dedicated exclusively to authors. Visit authorpedia.org and become part of a living community of writers and thinkers.
In the last episode, we walked beside the Dragon of 12 Heads. Today we enter a darker chamber of this revelation, the worship of the Malefic Deity. In these verses, false prophets craft idols from shadow. They carve a god from fear, cunning, and malice, and raise a deity born from deception, far away from truth. This god wears many masks and hides its true face. It moves behind veils of illusion and attracts those who fear the light and seek comfort in the shade of their own superiority. They build temples upon foundations of lies. Altars rise from stones of deceit. Walls stand from bricks of betrayal, and pillars sink into the mire of corruption. From the outside, these temples appear grand and impressive. Within them, the worship exalts cruelty and treachery. The god of shadow ignores kindness and virtue. It rewards theft, manipulation, and the breaking of sacred bonds. Followers offer actions that wound their own souls and call this devotion. They proclaim themselves chosen above all others and declare the rest of humanity a servant race, fashioned for their gain and their convenience. Through this claim of chosenness, they divide the earth into rulers and ruled masters and servants. They call domination holy and submission sacred. They write scrolls filled with cunning arguments and twist the words of the wise until oppression appears as destiny and conquest appears as divine command. Under the pale moon they gather in secret. They lift torches lit with the fire of greed. Their hymns flow from tongues seasoned with poison. They anoint themselves with oils distilled from betrayal and pride and step back into the world as priests of division. A parable speaks of a gardener who plants good seed in fertile soil. During the silent hours, an enemy scatters poisoned seed among the good. Both types of plants grow together, and the twisted growth wraps itself around the healthy stalks until the field becomes a wilderness of thorns. So grow nations that follow a malefic deity. At first strong and fruitful, later entangled and choked by their own corrupted doctrines. Another tale tells of a great tree whose branches shelter every creature. Deceivers whisper to the birds that the tree confines their wings. The birds abandon their nests and scatter across the sky. Predators rise to meet them, and the gift of shelter disappears. So moves the fate of souls that trade living wisdom for hollow promises dressed as freedom. Hidden temples beneath mountains of gold present wealth as the highest form of divinity. In those sanctuaries, people sacrifice innocence, trade integrity for status, and exchange the vastness of eternity for glittering dust that slips through their fingers. They guide their children into rivers of forgetfulness. They withhold the wisdom of elders and the stories of ancestors. Roots grow shallow. The young drift like leaves upon the wind, easy to steer and easy to spend. With mouths of honey and hearts of iron, they teach generations to kneel before the idol they created, and to cast all others into the furnace of disdain. They cultivate a belief that only their circle carries worth, and the shadow deity feasts on ignorance, division, and the slow cooling of human hearts. Yet the revelation always preserves a final promise. Even while darkness spreads, a quiet whisper of truth lives within faithful hearts. Unseen lamps burn behind closed doors. Souls remember that real divinity delights in compassion, and that true light honors the dignity of every being. These hidden keepers of conscience await the moment when greater radiance pours across the world, when false idols crack and the emptiness of their thrones becomes clear. You stand close to them whenever you honor your inner light, whenever you respect the dignity of every being, and whenever you protect your soul from the lure of status or gain. Guard this flame within you. Nourish it with clarity, courage, and compassion. Through it you remain free from the altar of the Malefic Deity and aligned with the intelligent universe that breathes wisdom into every sincere heart. In our next episode, we step into the counting houses of the age, where interest coils around families and nations like tightening chains. We enter the usurers and the chains of debt, the emergence of predatory lending, and we witness how numbers become weapons and how awakened minds begin to break their silent grip.